This conference will now be recorded.
So, first of all, welcome you all for taking the first step towards learning automation, test automation. So, before we start something, how many of you are already into testing industry or testing? Is my voice audible first of all?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So, my first question is how many of you are already in testing field?
I'm from testing.
Okay, nice, nice. So, you must have heard the
Yeah,
word called okay, okay. So, you must have heard the word called automation.
Yeah, I have worked with automation for 1.5 years. Yeah.
Okay, so with your experience, can you let us know what you have understood all about automation?
Okay. Comparing between manual and automation, manual we will be doing all the activities. If we have to check any tables or whatever, so we will have to do it manually. With automation, we can automate it by giving the commands. Say, for example, if you have to click a particular link, we have a specific command to click that link to go into the login page. And if we can also verify by giving a certain command, and we can produce a report whether the link is displayed correctly or not. And based on that, we can produce a report and we'll get to know whether the test case is passed or failed.
Okay, that's nice of you. How can I call you, please? Can you tell me?
My name is Celine.
Okay, okay. And that's nice of you, Selen. Thanks for the info. And I heard other person also saying something that they are also into testing industry. So I guess it's Vinay. Vinay, could you explain few words about what you know about test automation?
yeah. So I think Selin has explained a lot. So I'll just add few points. Like for automation, we can execute multiple test cases at a time. So this is one of
Okay.
the basics of automation. Like if we prepare the script, so after preparing the scripts, if we are running it, then we can execute multiple test cases at a time. So this is one of the basic points of automation.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anyone? The floor is open for all. This is a discussion. I mean, our trainings are meant to be a two-way trainings, not a one-way training. So you can discuss anything about automation. You can share
Uh,
your views related to automation.
Also, automating any particular application is cheaper than the manual efforts. So while doing manual testing, we need a lot of, it's costly basically. So
Oh,
automation testing is cheaper than the manual testing. Yeah.
nice, 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 nice. That's good to hear. That's good to hear from everyone that. And how many of are new into testing, like new to test automation, or have they heard the word for the first time? Hmm?
Hi Rahul.
Yeah. Hi. Hi.
Yeah, I'm new to testing, but I know something about automation and manual. In manual, we do all the things by with human efforts to do
Mm-hmm.
all the activities. Uh, Apart from that, in automation, we do all the stuff with help of any tools uh, for all the repeated actions. That's
That's
what I am.
nice. That's nice. That's wonderful of everyone.
Yeah.
So, any other people in the house would like to share their views on automation before we start our intro session, so that I'll get to know at what level is your thought process, at what level are you thinking, so that from there we can accumulate multiple views of all the people and we can drive the session further that way. So, any
So
other
hi
person
all,
in the yeah,
hi,
please.
this is Pravalika. So I'm into
Yeah.
manual testing from past 5 years almost. So I
Okay.
feel while automation would be helpful in regression testing and for performance, I think it would be helpful because I personally when I'm doing regression, many a times I have to log into multiple lobbies at a time and do testing. So I personally feel if I can automate and all, it makes my job much easier.
Nice, nice, nice. Your experience speaks a lot. Not experience, I
Exactly, this is
can see
out of
your pain. I
experience.
can see your pain.
Yeah, that's what. It's out of pain I'm learning now. I'm like it. I'm interested to learn.
Sure, sure. That's the zeal we all want from everyone in the house so that we can discuss more beautiful scenarios, more ideas, more knowledge sharing will be
Yeah,
happening.
yeah,
Okay. So the first topic that I wanted to start was why automation testing is important. So most of them have given the answers about automation, time saving, time saving, unattended execution, cost saving. Better the automation suite developed, you can expand your test suite range also. In addition to everyone's point, what I would like to add is you can expand your test suite range. If a well-oiled automation framework is built, then you can expand your test library, test suite. Then you can expand your horizons of your domain, expand the horizons of your application. You can have a lot of boundary value scenarios, lot of equivalent scenarios. Clear? Clear, everyone?
yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So I guess this picture itself depicts the life of a manual tester and the life of automation tester, provided when the application is nearing go live. I guess all the experienced people can understand this pain, I believe, especially
Yeah,
Pralika.
we can relate. Yeah, yeah.
So how about Selin, Vinay, and others?
Yes,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I'm
Hope
also
you
into testing from 5 years, so yeah, I can also relate. So I'm into functional testing only. Yeah, so I can relate that.
so a pic- instead of giving some differences, I thought a pictorial representation would be self-explanatory to everyone, I believe. Hope I'm clear, right?
Yeah,
So let's discuss about advantages of automation. So as people have already covered most of the points for me, that is reliability. Reliability comes when the automation script performs the same operation again and again and again. Like a human can be prone to errors if he performs the same activity again and again, because we are interested to do the same activity for 3 or 4 times. But a script is not like that. It will execute that same activity n number of times. No matter what, it will execute with the same precision, same accuracy, etc, etc, etc. And since if your script is reliable, obviously you can repeat your script n number of times in n number of virtual machines in n number of environments, right? Right or not?
yeah, true.
So
Yeah, true.
so if you have a reliable script that runs for n number of times, then obviously you're building a better quality software. That means what? You can run more number of test cases in less time with reduced team size. Why the word reduced team size is coming is, in most of the companies what is happening means they allocate some nice a triple R kind of a budget for development team. That's the reality. But for testing team, they feel like, do we need to allocate these many members? Do we need these many testers? Do we need 20 members of testing? Come on, let's start automation. That's how the thought of automation started in most of the organizations.
I do agree.
So I guess Celine and Vinay are agreeing with me on this point, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I was
Yeah,
with manual testing, and then I moved to automation, so I could relate it. Yeah.
Uh, can you speak bit clear?
I'm sorry.
Your voice is breaking in the middle. Can you be a bit clear, please?
Okay. Is it fine now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I was
Please.
telling that. initially I was with manual testing, I mean, for about 7 years, and then I past 1.5 years, I moved to automation. So I could very
Yeah,
much relate that. Yeah.
yeah. So if there is a reliable and repeatable script built, then obviously you're building a better quality software. Can you mute your voice, please, if you're not talking? Thanks. So what I was saying, if you can build a reliable and a repeatable script, then obviously you're building a better quality software. So better quality software leads to what? Cost reduction. They'll allocate budget, like, I mean, now the service delivery team can allocate budgets, like, for a small budget movie, how much it costs, they can spend that much amount of money if there is a better automation suite built. So once you have a better automation suite built, then you can reuse that code. Reusability means what? You can test it in different releases, different builds, different virtual machines, different distributor systems, different dockers, wherever you want it, no matter what. So the part programmable is something some people debate it. Why do I need to program my scripts? If I program myself, then I'm also a developer. Some people will be like, okay, if you program it, you can play around with a lot of things. You can have a very great control of what you're doing and all. So everyone has their own views. But according to me, if you are coding your automation scripts with the help of a programming language, then the productivity and output will be much better than from a non-coding automation suites, is what I believe, like UFT, RPA, whatever you say, UFT, RPA, recently Test Studio or Test Cafe. My opinion is the moment you build a robust and strong library for automation suite is the when you start programming. But trust me, guys, the moment you start programming means that means you're not becoming a developer overnight. The the code that we are developing for automation suite is maximum 20 to 30% of developers knowledge. Apart from that, nothing else. Hope I'm clear with this point. When they say people that you're developing automation scripts means you're becoming a developer. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So if anyone is having some cross view on this point, I'm open to listen. That's not a problem.
I think I have one question, but it is not related to your point. But I think I just wanted to ask, like, if we do not have a much knowledge about coding and we were not into coding much, so can we go to the means? Can we learn the Selenium with Java easily, or we should first learn the basics of Java and then come to the Selenium?
So first we have to learn the basics of Java, then you have to go to Selenium, because when it comes to Selenium, the percentage of contribution of tool is 20%. Remaining 80% is with the coding. So that is why the course is
Yeah.
designed in such a way that we start from the scratch of Java. We start, how do we download, how do we set up everything, then only we start into the basics. Once the basics are clear, only then we go into the Selenium concepts.
Yeah. Okay. So means basics of Java is necessary. So parallelly we can means take some classes for Java also, right?
Yeah, we are
Or
starting with
it will
Java.
be okay. So it will be included in the course, right? In the Selenium.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Any other points that I would like to discuss? So since we have discussed the points about reliability, repeatability, if both are achievable, then you are building a better quality software. If you are building a better quality software, then the cost will be reduced by ramping down the team members. Once you ramp down the team members, then you have to ensure that your code is reusable. The reusability point achieves when you are able to program your scripts properly. The once you are able to program your scripts properly, then automation is so quick that it will execute the script within a blink of an eye. It runs like an Usain Bolt. It will be more faster than Usain Bolt actually. Once you start executing a script, it will be that quick. Not even you can see what is happening in a blink of an eye. You'll finish your test case in like a couple of seconds if it's a very small test case. Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yeah. Okay.
So again, as I've discussed more points, like I would like to add one more point, like I would like to add few more points. Better automation scripts leads to speed is what I've discussed. Better accuracy, wider test coverage. Why do I say this point, wider test coverage? Because suppose in a manual test suite, you have developed some 1,000 regression cases, and assuming that automation team has developed some 800 to 850 cases, 800 to 850 cases from automation side. So what happens? The manual team will be remaining with 150 cases. So what can the manual team do now? What can they do is they can expand their domain knowledge in such a way that they can add more scenarios, they can add more negative testing, they can do more positive testing, they can do more of a boundary testing, they can apply some load on the application and see how the application is behaving, etc. You can have different scenarios so that you can provide more input to automation team as well as to the organization. Now everyone is clear about the concept. What do you mean by wider test coverage?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So another point I would like to say is effective test management. So what happens with effective test management is the point is, once your automation scripts are built properly, trust me, if you are building a very wonderful automation script, the evidences that it generates is more than sufficient for us to showcase what we have done. You need not speak. Your reports will speak on behalf of you. That is what is one point of effective test management, and it can be updated, reused, cover, executed, which are having similar requirements and functionalities. You can use your script within multiple projects having small changes in the UI. Okay. So last point before I want to know if we have any doubts or not, resource optimization. So when I talk about the word resource optimization, I want to clear one myth, that automation is not replacing the manual testing team. This is a myth that is being spread around the market. What I would like to inform you or tell you is that automation team is just helping the testing process hassle free. It is ensuring that the testing process is going on a hassle free mode, because always manual testers should be focused on creating new ideas, new scenarios, new issues to be found, new bugs to be found. They are the creators. We are just executing them repeatedly. That is our point. We are just ensuring that we are saving the time, we are saving a cost. That is it. We will never ever replace a manual testing team. This is the point I want everyone to remember. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Can we know your name so that we can answer like
Rahul.
by saying your name? Yeah, Rahul. Okay.
Rahul.
Yeah.
Okay. So this graph is pretty much self-explanatory. This is nothing to point out on everyone. This is a generic analysis that I have drawn out on this graph. So hope this graph is self-explanatory for everyone. If possible, can anyone can explain this graph on behalf of me so that they can also understand what is what? Like someone has told about regression, they felt like they are taking a lot of time to execute their cases. They have to log in multiple times, they have to log out multiple times, different domains, different URL switching. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess the efforts that you take is 160 hours. I believe so. If you are having a regression suite of 1,000 cases, I believe, if you have
Yeah, it should
considering
be.
6 hours working day.
Yeah, luckily I have only 10 lobbies, so but yeah, it's
Yeah,
actually time taking to switch between all lobbies, and we have to manually enter the credentials and then log in. Yes, of course, it is time taking.
yeah. Mm.
So
And
probably
and
I
and
think like,
also, yeah, you can continue.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, go
please
ahead,
go ahead,
please.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So whenever we are means making any changes in the requirement or in the application, so we need to repeat those cases, right? We need to do the regression of the rest of the functionalities. So this is also
Mm-hmm.
time taking, as well as this is kind of laborious also for the manual testers to do the same
Mm-hmm.
things again and again by for a small change. So by automation, we can just run the script and can do the regression of the existing functionalities.
Okay. Nice, nice. Good to hear. Someone was saying something. Can you repeat the point, please?
I think Pravalika was saying something.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. That is why I wanted her to finish her point so that we can continue further.
No, no, just to extending, I was just telling that if I had to manually log in into all 10 lobbies, I would take around 12 to 15 minutes, but with automation, I think it would run in a minute.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Nice,
That's
nice.
my assumption, but I'm not sure
No,
how
no, no,
long
no.
it will take.
No, no. It's actually good. Actually good that we want everyone's views to be projected here actually, so that we'll get to know what are their intentions, what is their purpose towards learning automation. We need to know everyone's purpose towards
Correct.
learning automation, right? So that way
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can drive our growth.
yeah.
Okay. So can we switch to another slide?
Yes,
Yes,
Rahul.
Yeah,
please.
yeah, sure.
So before we go further, I want to give you 5 important tips when it comes to automation. First point, never ever make a mess of your automation scripts. Trust me, have some proper idea of what you're automating, what is your objective, what you're trying to achieve with the help of automation. That is the first thing that you all need to remember. Second thing, avoid complex logic in your scripts. The word avoid complex logic means avoid unnecessary logic. In fact, to be more precise, avoid unnecessary logic in your scripts. Make sure that your script is very straightforward and very direct of what you're doing. Okay? Use the complex logic only as and when is required. Third thing, again, this is a very another myth that is traveling in the market, that is being speculated or circulated in the market, that 100% automation should be done by the company. So, but in reality, you can never ever automate any application 100%. Like you cannot automate an application completely. Always remember the max that in my experience that I could automate is 80 to 85% of my complete test case library. Okay. Fourth thing, so since you are into test automation, you should also have a basic sense of testing, like how do you find the bugs, how do you find the issues, what are the test cases. You need to have some basic idea, basic understanding of what is testing. Then only you start with automation testing. Before you start your scripting, check the flow manually, check whether it is working properly or not, do all the pros and cons of on that particular flow. Then you start scripting, because if you know the functionality that you are about to script, then you can deliver a much better script than what you're planning for. Clear? Last but not the least, test automation is a software development process, because we are developing a bot. We are developing a bot with the help of our Selenium or Cypress or whatever it is. We are developing a bot. We are developing a small set of applications. So we have to code everything. We have to design our own frameworks. We have to ensure that it is satisfying the needs of the organization. So at the end of the day, it's a development process. Feel proud to say that it's also a development process. Generally, in most of the organizations, they'll be like, okay, we have finished manual testing in 2 weeks. Come on, next 1 week, you have to finish automation. Just tell me how many of you have encountered this kind of scenario. They'll be like 2 weeks, okay, then start automation in 1 week. Next 1 week, you have to finish all the scripts. Tell me how many people have encountered these kind of scenarios.
Yeah, we were actually not given time, but we were asked to automate all the applications. I mean, all the points. So, for example, we can't automate the captcha.
Yes.
So that is not 100% automatable, but they didn't understand. We had a scenario like wherein I was working with the banking domain, so we had like there was a deals. We
Hmm.
have to automate that, but it will be changing and it is dynamic. So they didn't understand that it is again non-automatable. So we had to tell them that it is quite changing in every user IDs. So there are many things which can't be automated. So these are some of the issues we faced when we were in automation.
Mm-hmm. Nice, 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 nice. Good to know. Any other? How about others? How about others? How about others? Any other views on the point that you have just discussed?
No, I think not related to this.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. If
No, no,
you want
I'm
to ask
saying
something.
not related.
Okay, okay.
I think yeah, we can continue.
So, as some of our friends said that it is cost effective when you have a proper automation suite or library. So, if you can see this graph, what is happening means initially you feel like we are investing more into automation at the first build or the first release that is happening. Gradually, what is happening means overallly the automation cost remains the same across the project cycle, considering if you have 20 builds to be deployed. The cost spent on automation is almost or nearly same, but as and when the bill life cycles have increased, then you see the cost that is being spent on the manual team is increasing. The reasons for increment of budget can be of any end reasons. It's just like as soon as the project is heading for a go live, or as the project is heading for a UAT, what happens is in general they tend to add more testers, they tend to add more senior people, so that we can have a better productivity. They, with their experience, we can text more scenarios, or we can find more issues or more bugs, or we can ensure that the testing process is smooth and hassle free. Or it other way it could be like they'll be spending more number of hours. So generally what happens, if you spend more number of hours, then the company will generate a lot of bill on the client, right? It will be like a overhead burden on the client, right? Since you're working for lot number of hours when the product is approaching go live or UAT phase. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
So it can be n number of reasons, but trust me, as soon as the product is approaching go live, the cost incurred by the manual team is always pretty much high. If you have spent some amount of money onto automation, then you might have had a robust script, you might have had a very strong automation script which can reduce the burden on the manual testers, and manual testers will be like relaxing at that time, where automation team will be like they'll be executing the scripts, sharing the results. That would be like job. Okay, so hope this graph is understood by everyone. Any doubts?
Yeah, I have a
Hmm?
question.
Yes, please.
I just joined 5 minutes back. I don't know whether you already gave an explanation for this or not, but in my case, in the current project where I am working, it is an agile project. So my first question is whether the Selenium can be used for an agile project.
Yes, definitely. But you have to use like, so if you are running
Uh,
an ith iteration, then you have to start automating for I minus one iteration. Okay.
I minus one iteration. Okay. The
Yes.
actual problem which I am facing is an agile, right? The requirement will be keep on changing. So it's keep on changing. So I know that in some projects they will say let the product stability remains, then we can start automation. But in other case, in other they
Hmm.
are in the first iteration in sprint one itself they are asking us to start automating. So
Okay.
they are expecting some output from us. So the requirement will be keep on changing, right?
Yes.
Sprint to
Yes.
sprint. Yeah. So we
Yes.
have to rework again and again.
So the smart suggestion I would like to give to you and your
Hmm.
management is generally what we do in agile methodology means for the first 5 to 7 sprints, we will not even start our automation scripting. Trust me. For the first 5 to 7 sprints, ideally we will never ever start our automation scripting. The main reason behind it means it will take at least 2 to 3 sprints to for the application to be stable enough to have a basic functionality, right? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes, yes.
So what I tell to my management, if I am in your position, means, boss, the thing is that as soon as the sprint is started, we cannot start automating our scripts, because the basic criteria for starting any kind of automation script building is we have to ensure that our application is working manually, properly, without any bugs, without any major blockers, without any major functional leakages. So we have to ensure that. In order to ensure that part, it may take 5 to 7 sprints for an application to be in a normal state, which is in which you can ensure that basic functionality is working properly. So this is how we portray to our management. So like they might ask, what can be the example, something like that. Suppose if this application is deployed in the first sprint, then what happens? You might see a lot of application slowness. You might see URL is not loading properly. You might face some environmental challenges. So in this clogged situation, would you like to introduce automation? I would say I would not vote for it,
No, never.
but would you vote for it?
No,
You
no,
have to
never.
give them.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. You have to explain them the scenarios. That is how I explain it to my management, by drawing some scenarios, by giving them the real life situation. What happens if you start now? What happens if you start after 5 to 7 sprints? This is the kind of explanation I give it to my management, and they are open to listen for all the ideas that we say. Because if you want
Yeah,
to
I got
understand your project, it will take 5 to 7 sprints for you to understand the project only.
it. Mm-hmm.
What is
Mm-hmm.
happening at a overall point of view. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? No matter, like, not only about cumulative cost, any other point, like, may I know your name, please? Just know who has talked. So sorry.
It's Lavanya.
Yeah, yeah. So just know Lavanya has asked one question like that. If anyone has some generic question, I'm open to answer those kind of questions also. So if you don't have any questions, can I move it to the next slide? If you're okay with this graph and explanation that we're given.
Uh, yes, Rahul. Yeah.
So this is one of the efforts matrix that you have taken from some other project, that have taken it from some other project, the efforts matrix. So basically what happens, we have drawn a comparison between manual and automation, how much time savings will be there, etc., etc. There might be some few errors in this effort sheet. I'm so sorry if there are any errors. So basically, how much test development effort that it takes. So these numbers are made on an approximate basis for a particular project. There's nothing for a there's nothing to point out like on a generic basis. How can you decide it? This is just for a specific project. How the service delivery team or how the higher management level looks at it. They see on the efforts basis. What matters to CEO or the project manager or a vice president of a company is how much efforts my employee is spending and how much benefit I'm getting on applying the concept of automation into the testing methodologies. Yes or no? That is how the higher management sees, right? Yes or no? Hmm?
Yeah. Yes.
So basically what happens, test development efforts for an automation team. Initially manual team need not do any test scripting. Automation team will do all the scripting. So definitely what you might feel like, okay, automation team is taking a lot of time. Maybe they are unable to script. These kind of doubts, these kind of things will happen a number of times. Okay. So now what will happen? What is the execution efforts per hour? Suppose if you be patient with the automation team during the initial stages, what happens means that what will be the execution effort? Suppose if a tester spends 1 hour to finish a user story, if a properly well-oiled automation script is built, he might finish it in 8 minutes. That is a time save, right? At the end of the day, yes or no? Hmm?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So assuming that there are 20 releases per year, sometimes what happens, you might not have 20 releases per year also. Sometimes what will happen, there'll be a lot of patch releases, right? Yes or no? Patch releases, hotfix releases, yes or no?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So in that situation also we have to run automation script, right? Hmm? In that case, manual team would not like to test for every hotfix that is there, would not like to run some smoke suit or sanity suit for testing the application. In that case, what they do, they run the automation script. In that way, what will happen, if when the hotfix is given, if there is any breakage in the application, then the automation script will throw the error that, okay, so and so issue is there in our application, boss, please report it to our team. It can give a warning, right? Yes or no? Hmm?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
So what happens if you find more bugs before handing over the product to your UAT? Then what will happen means, okay, the team is finding more bugs, which is curbing the losses at the UAT level. And it is like, trust me, if you find a bug in UAT, the efforts and the amount spent is more than what you imagine. I guess some of the people might know the cost if there is a bug found in UAT, and what is the implications and efforts and consequences that is spent on to resolve a bug of UAT. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in order to avoid all those things, we are trying to introduce the process of automation, which keeps on executing again and again precisely with lot of accuracy, so that if there are any issues, it can help us finding out. Okay. So like releases per year for a particular project, main releases per year would be like 6. How many regression runs we do on a year? 26. So for a manual team to do a regression run, forget 26 times. They'll be tired after doing for 5 times. I'm sorry if I'm not criticizing anyone. Hope this is a fact, right? If you do 5 times per year, if you do you can't do 26 regression runs per year. But if you start to after fifth time, you feel like irritated to do a regression execution, right? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. True.
Whereas if you have a very wonderful automation script built, it will execute for 365 days, and you can have unattended execution every night and day. It's clear? Clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So once a robust automation script is built, what is there, boss? What is left for us? Testers will spend like 745 days for a project life cycle. Once the automation suite is built, there won't be any tester required, right? The scripts will run the job overnight and they will give the result, right? Yes or no? The testers need not stay late nights. What is the execution? What is my smoke result? What is my sanity result? Yes or no? Hmm? Yes
Yeah.
or no, guys?
Yes. Yeah.
Suppose if there are 4 manual testers, then for the manual team you need to have 4 testers. But for automation, you need not have any person sitting there. You can simply tell it to your DevOps team, or you can easily schedule your job and you can run the code. Okay? Okay. So total manual days per year for
Yes.
tester 186. And automation execution days per year 11.7. Like the role of automation engineer in the given time will be like, okay, he's just there to execute and fix it. That's why we use 11 days per year. Overall, if you see, we spend, if a proper suit is built, post production we spent only 12 days a year to fix any kind of issues for a particular project, because automation team doesn't stick to one project in reality. They'll always switch, or they'll always hop around different projects. Once the work in this project is finished, then they have to switch to other project. It will be in some state. We have to ensure that we have to build a robust automation script, so that we have to deliver the same productivity that you have given in the previous project. Clear?
Yes.
Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hope
Yes.
I've added more points to what you have explained in the initial intro time.
Yeah.
So moving on to, so before we choose the tool called Selenium, I want answers, your views on why we are using Selenium. Can anyone give me answers? Out of so many tools in the automation market, why only Selenium?
It is free
It's
of
open
cost
source.
to install. Open
Okay,
source.
okay, one after the other. Let me note down the points so that everyone can have a view. Open source. Second point. A second point, please.
It can
We
support
can
multiple
we can
frameworks.
contribute.
One after the other, please, please.
It can support multiple frameworks.
Support one sec. Support multiple frameworks. And how about others? Hmm? How about others? Hmm?
Supports multiple browsers.
Okay, support multiple browsers. Any other point, please?
We can contribute by our side.
Could you repeat your point, please?
It's a open source, no? So we can contribute from our side only.
Contribution towards Selenium. Okay. Okay. What next?
Yeah, multiple languages like Python, Java, C Sharp.
Okay. You can mention like multiple programming languages like Java, Python, C Sharp, etc. Good. What next? What next, guys? Hmm?
It can
What
support
next?
record and playback.
Okay. Supports record and playback. And anything else? Anything else? Anyone?
HTML reports generation.
Okay. HTML report generation. Last three more points to go. After that, we'll stop. We'll stop the discussion. I mean to say. So, three more points to go. Would you like to add more? Any more views? Any more idea? Any more points would you like to add? Till now, we have added 7 points. I want three more points from anyone in the house. Any more points, views, please? Hmm? No more?
It is easy to implement.
Okay. Easy to implement. Anything else?
It's quite flexible and it can support parallel test execution.
What do you mean by the word flexible? If you, in your terms, please.
Flexible, if we are, with the basic knowledge of Java, if we have a particular clear framework, we really don't have to type in on all the syntaxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Word syntax typing. If there is a proper framework in place.
Yeah, it will be displayed. Say, for example, if we have to check if a particular link is displayed when we press type dot is, it will show up like is displayed or is not displayed, or
Mm-hmm.
all the syntaxes will be shown to us. So we can choose from that. So I mean that is flexible.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. We are here to understand each and everyone's views. No point. We are
Mm.
not pointing anyone here. That's it. So, yeah, please go ahead. Someone was saying something. Please go ahead.
Maybe if we go wrong anywhere, it will be throwing errors there itself, like easy to understand the errors, something like that.
Anything else? That's it.
It's easy to learn and use.
Sorry. Please go ahead. Easy to
Easy to, it's easy to learn and use. It's a simple one,
learn
but
and
effective.
sorry. Easy to
Use.
learn and
Easy to learn
oh, okay.
and use.
Okay.
Mm.
That's it. Can we break here? Can we break our discussion here?
Yes. Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Please. If someone wants to add, I'm open. I'm open to listen. Else, I would like to add some points to it. Okay. Supports cross-browser testing, less hardware usage during installation, less hardware usage supports cross-browser, and have you heard the word Cypress? Heard the word Cypress? Have you heard the word Cypress?
Yes,
No.
it is. Yeah, it is like similarly like Selenium. As far as I remember.
Yeah, sure. This is a, some people say this is the competitor to Selenium. In what ways? Open source, same multiple frameworks. Only these are the two things that are easy, and easy report generation. Another point I would like to add is easy report generation. Now, coming to this, I mean, we are seeing a lot of debate about Selenium versus Cypress, which is better, which is not better. Cypress supports only JS, JavaScript, and requires us to use Visual Studio, which is a heavy software. Okay, whereas Selenium is not such a heavy software, boss, and you can use it in Eclipse, Visual Studio, Sublime Text, wherever you want, you can use it. Okay, Cypress supports. Why I'm pointing out these questions means recently some of my friends have attended the interview. Their question was like, we are planning to use Cypress. What are your views? I don't have any idea about Cypress means. That means since you are not updated with the technologies or market was the question, was the review he got from his interview panelists. So that's why I thought like let us introduce the word Cypress and why it is a competitor to Selenium. Okay. Selenium supports a wide range of browsers: Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, sorry, Safari, Opera, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, Opera, Internet Explorer.
IE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Solaris. These are the range of browsers that is supported by Selenium. No other automation tool in the market cannot support these many browsers. That is the main reason people go for Selenium. Okay. Apart from open
Uh, does
source,
it does it support the mobile applications also?
yes,
Means
I will come to
can we
that point.
automate? Yeah.
I will come to that point. Just give me a minute or two. I'll come to your point only. Okay. Support record and playback. Yes. Yes. That's it. These are the only things that make Cypress advantageous. Trust me, if it is not open source, not even half the people know what is Cypress. Trust me. The main thing with Cypress is it's not flexible to do in multiple languages. You need to have a complete command on JavaScript in order to use it, and you have to use only Visual Studio. Okay, clear everyone?
Cypress,
Clear with it?
Cypress is a tool, right?
Yeah, similar to Selenium, Cypress is also a tool.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, coming to your point, what was your question, brother? Can you repeat it?
I was asking that can we automate mobile applications through Selenium? Is it possible to install Selenium or automate mobile applications?
Okay, this is your question. The answer will be like no. Selenium is meant to automate only web-based applications, but you can use tools like AppDynamics for automating mobile-based applications. AppDynamics is a part of Selenium family and derived from it. Okay. Hope my answer has cleared your doubt.
Yeah. Is it a kind of extension something, or it's a different
No,
tool
no,
which is
no.
the part of
AppDynamics is a
Selenium?
completely a different tool.
Okay.
Actually, you're asking some wonderful questions because 85% of the people think that Appium is just an extension to Selenium, but not. Okay. Any other things you would like to discuss?
Rahul, I was part of actually mobile testing. So we did
Mhm.
use Selenium with Appium, as you said, yeah. We
No, Appium, only Appium you must have used. There won't be any Selenium concepts because the locators that are used for Appium is completely different from Selenium.
no, we use the Perfected tool to configure with Selenium, and then we
Maybe
execute
are
it.
you working on some emulators, I believe?
Yeah, it's Perfecto.
Okay,
Perfecto is
maybe
the
you're working.
simulator. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you're working on some emulators. That is why you must be using some Selenium. But the
Yeah.
purpose of Selenium in kind of situation is only 5% or 10%. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Using Appium, can we automate Android and both iOS mobile?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So actually, we are
Yes.
not covering
Yeah.
Appium as part of our plan.
Mhm.
Hmm. Hello. Someone
Yeah.
was
You can
asking something.
continue.
Okay. We are not covering any Appium related things in our class. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So any other points you would like to discuss? Anything like that? We have discussed some advantages of Selenium. Okay, I have highlighted some star points actually. So HTML report generation, by default, it is not a nature of Selenium. Okay, you have to use some third-party plugins to generate the reports. It is not part of Selenium. Okay, okay. And related to this point, throwing errors to the console for better understanding. So on this point, this happens when based on the code that you have written. How do you write the code? How do you handle the exceptions? It's all based on that only. Okay, it doesn't come by default. It's all depends on how do you handle your exceptions. How do you project your exceptions? Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes, Rahul. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I was about to discuss the disadvantages of Selenium, but since I have 4 minutes left, if you have any questions, we can discuss those things. Tomorrow I can discuss the disadvantages of Selenium and we can go into the SDLC and STLC part.
Yeah, okay, Rahul. So, since we have less time left, so I just want you to introduce yourself. Like, what experience do you have, or since you are into testing from how many years, like this? Yeah.
Sure, sure. I'm into testing industry for past 8 years, and most of my career is into automation only. Manual testing I've done, but that was in the initial stages of my career. But last 6 to 7 years, I'm into automation testing only. We were into more of frameworks, TestNG, BDD, Cucumber,
Okay, so
and we
all
were
in
part of
Selenium,
DB
right?
testing. It's only Selenium and bit of Appium also I use, but the knowledge of Appium I have is only for my purpose only. I'm not good at teaching Appium.
Okay. So, one more question, like how many classes will it be required to complete the whole course?
Uh,
We can,
yes, yes.
yeah,
30 to 45 days is the duration.
okay.
Hmm.
30 to 45 days or the classes, 30 to 45 classes, right?
Each class is of 1 hour, so 30 to 45
Yeah,
classes. You can say like that.
okay. And means we'll start with the Java classes also, right? Means you'll
Yes,
explain
yes.
the basics of Java and all.
Yes, yes. Once we have finished all the intros, like because not everyone is from the testing background, right? So I have to introduce what is Selenium, what are the disadvantages. Because when you're using
Yeah,
some tool, you need to know the pros and cons, right? First, let me explain the pros and cons, then explain
yeah.
them what is SDLC, STLC, what are the different tools under the Selenium suite. Then we can start with Java.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Rahul, are we
And
continuing the? I'm sorry.
one after the other, please. Yes, go ahead, go
So,
ahead.
yeah. So, are you continuing the demo session tomorrow?
Yes, yes. You can ask the management, like you can ask the
Okay.
management. They will be more than happy to answer.
Okay.
Anything else?
yeah, similar to that, like when are we expecting to start the classes? Like if we are satisfied with the demo and we want to join, so from when we can start and what
Uh,
will be the timings and all?
you can you ask the management like Kumar Gupta sir or Kumar Gupta
Okay.
and or the person who has approached you? Can you talk to them? They are the ones who can answer you better on this point.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
So anything related to the course, like how the content, how is being driven, I can answer you. But anything like how many demos, what's the cost, what's the fee, anything related to this part, Kumar Gupta sir and his team will be helping you better. Okay.
Okay, so what will be the coverage like if you can explain in few
Sure,
points,
sure.
like
I'll
what
show you
will be
the
the
course
coverage?
plan.
Yeah.
Just a minute. I'll show you the course plan also. Actually, it's there on our website. Sorry. So this is the course contents of our class. So today we have started with what is testing and test automation. Okay. And we have also covered this point importance of test automation, case studies and facts. And this point today that we have discussed is what is the just a minute. I'm so sorry. Just a minute. Some important call is coming. Just a minute. I'm so sorry. I just got a small call. So is my screen visible, guys?
Yes, Rahul, yeah.
So why Selenium is being used pros? We have discussed the pros. Tomorrow we'll be discussing about the cons and SDLC lifecycle and testing basics. From here on, what do you see? The setup of project, the basics of Selenium. How do we install JDK, Eclipse, Maven project, WebDriver, different concepts of Selenium ID, RC, XPaths, web tables, etc. Actions class, capturing screenshots, intro to Java, the different concepts of Java that we are covering. Okay. Hmm?
Yeah. Okay. So these concepts are related to Java, right? File, this inheritance
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all.
We're till eighth point. I mean, I'll tell you one sec. Java basics,
Yeah.
strings and
Yeah.
collections, exception handling, file handling, inheritance. These are all part of your Java.
Okay.
If you are perfect with all these things only, then you can start Selenium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Test ng. What are the things that you are covering in test ng? What are the things that we are covering in BDD Cucumber? What kind of property files are we dealing with? And some additional tips that we want to provide before you leave the session. How do we convert into a POM model project? So clear? I mean, any doubts? Hmm?
So are we going to prepare any project in that also?
Actually, the moment we finish our Java basics and Selenium basics, a bit of Selenium basics related to XPath, from that moment onwards, we will start going towards like how a basic framework look and feel will be like. Basic idea only I can give you in the training. Okay, I can't give you the complete idea because I cannot give you a complete idea in 30 to 45 classes, right? I
Mm-hmm.
can give you a basic overview of how it is being dealt, how it is being built. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, when you once you're practicing, you might have your own ideas. Then you can come up with a discussion with me. I'll be more than helping you at that time.
Yeah. Okay.
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 Anything else you would like to have a word?
Mm, I think it's fine. Like the coverage part, it's fine. Like we'll be able to means face the interviews and can prepare our own projects by Selenium, using Selenium after the
Uh,
course, right?
sure, that will happen only if you practice.
Yeah.
My part
Yeah.
will be 40%. 60% is your part. You have to practice a lot.
Yeah.
Your practice is the result for cracking the interview more than my teaching.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then we'll break for the day, and tomorrow we'll regroup. I mean, not tomorrow, I'm sorry. We'll regroup on Monday. I'm so sorry. We'll regroup on Monday at the same time, that is 9 p.m. IST. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you all. Have a great weekend ahead, and we'll regroup on Monday. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Rahul. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Manuel. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.